We're now going to learn about data communication and network technologies. Now, we've learned about the operating system and the system that is being used by the computer in general. In general, the OS controls a lot of entities inside the computer, hardware, software, and a host of other things, right? And the OS needs to make sure that data runs smoothly from one point to another. Now, in the same way, if and when we have a look at network, we need to have a look at, or rather we have to think about lots of different devices connected together. They all have different operating systems. Now, when or if we have this kind of situation, just imagine you getting out of your home and wanting to get to school, for example. When or if you do that, you know that there'll be lots of cars on the road, right? And when that happens, when there are lots of people, there are lots of entities, in this case cars and other vehicles, wanting to use limited resources, in this case roads, we have to have lots of rules, right? And so, when or if we talk about networks, imagine you using the internet. Imagine you going to the World Wide Web, doing searches, playing files and videos on YouTube, or uploading to YouTube, or putting things on Facebook. When or if you do that, actually you're part of millions, maybe billions of people doing the same thing at the same time. Meaning to say that there is a limited resources, and then there are lots of people, or rather there are lots of entities wanting to use the resources. In our case of using the network or the internet, what happens is that the resources would be the internet connectivity, the line, whereas us, meaning our computers, always want to do something. When you go online, you don't just sit there and see what other people are doing. You go to Facebook, you go to 9gag, you go to YouTube, you do lots of things, right? So what happens here is that we have the concept of communications, right? Communications, right? Of course, at first, before we have computers, or rather when or if we have computers, but the computers are not yet connected in a network, these are just primitive computers, maybe in the 80s in Malaysia. We have local communications. For example, we can call someone locally, right? Once or if we have computers, we still have local communications, right? This is where, for example, our computers are connected together inside our office network, right? So these are supposedly all computers or other devices inside your network. It might be a printer or something, all interconnected together. Now this is called local communications. Right? Once or if your small network connects to other networks outside, right? Maybe you have some kind of a router or modem here, and you connect to the outside world, right? So I'm just supposedly drawing the picture of the earth here, right? And this is what we call telecommunications. Wow, we don't have enough space. Telecommunications. Dang, that word is long. Okay, telecommunications. This is where we have long distance data networks, sending and receiving of data. Imagine if you go to YouTube or Facebook, the servers, or rather the computers that have your pictures and your videos, are actually not in Malaysia. It can be much further away from you. Now, anyhow, since we have lots of devices and lots of people wanting to use the same resource, we have to have a lot of rules, right? And we have to do things in an orderly way, right? Orderly. Meaning, if you imagine roads and etc., we have traffic lights, we have this and that, right? So data communications is the process of sending and receiving data in an orderly way. you follow certain orders, you follow certain set of rules so that everyone gets fair access and are able to do whatever they need to do over on the network. Now, first and foremost, we talk about network, right? Why are we able to actually send data in an orderly way is because everyone is connected, right? Everyone is connected. And we call this connectivity a network. Meaning, if you're really particular, now that we're in computing principles, it is called a computer network. Right? And now we are going to explore the 5 types of computer networks. First, we have personal area network. Personal. This is with regards to your personal stuff. Let's say, for example, you took a picture using your phone, right? And then using Bluetooth, you send it to your computer, right? And then from your computer, you use some kind of Wi-Fi or some kind of home network using some kind of different other signals, for example, Wi-Fi, to your printer, right? Now you have a small network consisting of only your personal devices, right? So it's called personal area network, right? From there, we can go to the slightly larger network. It's called the local area network, right? The local area network actually connects computer in a limited geographical space, right? Let's say one building, right? Or it can be one housing estate, right? A limited space. After which, we have a slightly larger network. It's called campus area network, right? Companies like Google or Microsoft, they have several buildings located in some kind of rather large real estate, some rather large piece of land, and they call this a campus, or you can imagine a university campus. Of course, Help University does not have a campus yet, but certain universities do have a campus where they have several buildings for several faculties and etc. And when or if we connect all of these buildings together inside the same campus, we have a campus area network. From there, we have the metropolitan area network. This is for a city, for example, KL, right? If you have a way of connecting all computers in KL in a network that is not necessarily connected to the outside world, right? Then you have a metropolitan area network for a certain metropolitan city, right? And of course, the largest one is wide area network. When we say wide area network, it is really a very wide type of designation, meaning to say that when we say wide area network, it might be one state, or one district, one state, several states, one country, one region, or the whole world. In fact, we already have a wide area network consisting of computers over the whole world, right? That wide area network is called the internet.